Maypole farm. Today we have a lot of fields to work on. So just showing here that overnight we paid about £3,300 in wages because we're on 3-day months now. So I want to put in a repair point, predominantly. It's a big word for me. To try and put a front 3-point on the Fiat. If you watched the last video, because I'd already tried this when I was recording the commentary, you'll know how this is going to turn out. But yeah, I want a bit more weight on the front of the Fiat because we're going to have a plow on the back of it. Because I also forgot about the issues that I have with the Fiat and plowing. So yeah, we'll see how this goes, I guess. Gonna get the lads working on some contracts as well once we've got this going. But yeah, let's have a look, see if we can put a front 3-point on here. We can put some mud guards on. It's kind of cool. Not sure what that's changing. We can put a forestry cage on. Yeah, doesn't seem to have the option for a front 3-point, but I know it can have one. So let's take the front loader off and then have a look. So we can add a front weight now, and we can't add the words front loader attacher. So yeah, I think we're just going to have to go without, because taking the front loader attacher off just to put a front weight on seems a tad unrealistic to me. So yeah, we're going to have to wing it. Hopefully the weight of the plow won't be too much for the tractor. I'm pretty sure I closed that shed door. I'm pretty sure I did, but you know, maybe not. So we're going to lease ourselves a plow. I'm just going for the 2.5 meter base game Agromaz. It needs 160 horsepower. I have got these installed, which are a bit smaller and need a bit less. And I figure if I get another small tractor, maybe we can make use of one of those as well. But for now, we're going to lease this guy at £816. Actually just going to hook it up and move it out of the way, because I have also remembered most of those fields need liming. So we're going to be doing a bit more imprecise farming today. It's really weird, as you know, someone who is sort of works in technology. I work in like sciencey stuff, so not using precision farming precisely is kind of weird. And going for this whole imprecise farming thing, yep, it's kind of strange, but you know, that's what we've got. So we're going to lease the Breedle again. This is one we used last time. Seems like a nice size for the farm that we're running. So I'm not going for the bigger spreader discs, just trying to keep it cheap. So $2 grand for that, and 60. Weirdly, did that say $60 delivery? Interesting. I think that's hard coded probably. The currency value. So yeah, we're going to get a bunch of lime delivered as well. So the store are back up and running, delivering stuff out to the local farms, which is kind of useful because yeah, we need a lot of lime. We'll see how we do with 8 bags. I do have part of a pallet or a big bag that was kicking about from when we did liming before, so we'll use that as well. And we've picked up a fertilizing contract, and this is the solid fert spreader I was saying about on the New Holland. So going to get that going on course plate. There aren't many fertilizing contracts about at the moment. I guess October is not a good point in the year for it. So hopefully when spring kicks in, there'll be a lot more of these about. I think this tractor is borderline on the age, but yeah. I think I brought it in to do plowing because of the issues with the Fiat, I think. Or maybe mowing. I can't remember. But yeah, then I decided that it would be a nice, easy option for fertilizing as well. So we're up in field number 16. And I had a quick check across the field, and we need to increase the pH by about 0.75 across the whole field. Some of it needs a little bit more. I think some of it maybe needs a little bit less. But as we're doing this imprecise farming, It's set at one value and it's going to go across the whole field. Not going to be perfect. You can see here we were applying slightly too much. It's all going to be at least good, is my theory. Some might end up being perfect. Some will be good. We'll be okay. So let's just speed things up a bit because, yeah, this was going to turn into another monster video. I mean, it's a 30-minute job. Again, that seems to be the standard, although I'm only managing to get 2 or 3 of these out a week, maybe 4. This week has been a bit different. It's been, if you're on Discord, you'll know that I have been traveling with work again. And then I did a monster session recording tutorials for some little mod that there may be an announcement about today for you, because this should come out on Thursday. Yeah, so don't actually have any more Let's Play material recorded at the moment for this week, except for the series for Patreon, which I have to sit and edit in a bit. I have to do some work, but you know, yeah. So I'm a bit behind on my content at the moment. It's just one of those things. Yeah, I could do with work being less busy, basically. Which next week should be. We have the bank holiday in the UK, obviously. So that's that fertilizing contract finished for £4,000 on Monday. And yeah, I'll probably use it to sit and record some video. Probably massively disrespectful, but you know, I'm not going to go into that. So we are now finishing up the second field. So again, gone for adding 0.75 unit sort of pH. pH is really annoying. The pH doesn't have a unit, I don't think. Someone correct me. There'll be a chemist watching that knows what the unit is for pH. Or Pete will Google it, or someone will Google it. I'm pretty sure pH didn't have a unit when I did A-level chemistry. We're applying 5.6 tons per hectare. There we go. There's units. Quick thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. If you're interested in either of those, there's a link below for Patreon, and there's the button to join the YouTube channel. Support that. Yeah, cool. Would be good. So a couple of strips to go, and then we have an epic amount of ploughing to do. This won't be a surprise to some of you, I am slightly strange. I enjoy ploughing. I used to loathe ploughing with a plough like I have leased, but actually I kind of enjoy it now. I find it kind of relaxing. Don't get me wrong, I am not averse to a cheaty plough. And for the guys on Patreon, you will see that it's not quite a cheaty plough, but I have to go with a spader, which is an interesting bit of kit that I've used I think I've used once on one of my most profitable animals videos. Interesting bit of kit. It works a lot like a plough, but I don't think you can create fields with it. So we shouldn't get weeds. And I have stones turned off on pretty much every Let's Play now because I just hate them. The only one that has stones turned on still is, I think Carpston might have them. Greenlands definitely does. The ones I'm playing at the moment don't. I do not like that mechanic at all. So I turned it off, even on hard mode. And we are not quite going to have enough lime to get us to the end of this field. So yeah, we do have contracts running in the background. I think they were mostly ploughing contracts because that's mostly what's about still. I suspect that me and my 2 workers are going to spend most of the winter ploughing this map, which I won't show you because it won't be much fun to watch. But yeah, I think that's probably going to be the case. I really want to try and clear out all those ploughing contracts, so it brings up seeding contracts and then fertilizing contracts and then harvesting contracts. You know, that's how farming works. So we did in fact have just enough lime to get that done. We've got a contract finished there, so the fertilizing one, and we've got a couple of ploughing contracts underway. You will have seen from the thumbnail that I end up doing quite a lot of plowing contracts. I'm loving that Traction King that is running in the background. I would definitely like to get one of those on the farm. It's not something that massively bothers me about things like this, but I know a VF is using one on Calmston, and he posted that they were available in the UK. For me, I guess back in the 80s or 90s, we didn't live in a world like that, but today I'm pretty sure you can buy anything you want almost. It's the same with having things like the Ursus. When I was in Wales last year, there was a little farm there that had, I think it was an Ursus. It might have been a Z or Zetor, depending on where you're from. So these random tractors do crop up. People randomly import them, and then they bounce their way around the country. So yeah. And it's a lot like the if you're a fan of Ollie Blogs, he's got that big case, and I'm pretty sure it's the same tractor. Certainly based on the same tractor. If it's not, I can't remember all the numbers. Someone will, and someone will tell me probably. But I'm pretty sure it's the same tractor, and that's a tractor that's in the UK. So it might have been imported later on. But, I'm not going to worry about that kind of thing. Traction King, I think, is one of the few high horsepower old I know there's some old John Deeres about, and I know one of you would love me if I really went heavy on the John Deeres on here as well. I mean, do we go Traction King, or do we go for a nice big old John Deere? Let me know what you think in the comments. I am grinning as I say that, because I know someone is going to be massively triggered if they watch this. Yeah, so into the ploughing now. In this field, actually, this seems to work okay. I need to sit those wheels a little bit more in the furrow. Pretty sure this is an in-furrow plough. But yeah, I was pretty pleased the fit actually worked okay compared to my experience when I put it on a contract where it did not plough so well. I think you'll see later on, I think it's very sensitive to the terrain. It makes me feel like the 3-point isn't dropping quite enough. I might see if that's something that I can look at, because that must be in the... It's got to be in the mod, so it's going to be in the XML or the i3D file. I think this is maybe the first commentary I have recorded. No, it's not, but it might be the first one I mentioned it in. The BGA Network distributor is available on ModHub now. I think that released on Monday. And that really shocked me because, and this is not any kind of, humble brag or whatever. That's a random thing from a Facebook page that I'm on. That is the first mod that I've had that has passed testing the first time. So I did not expect it to release on Monday. It passed testing on Friday, and I basically then spent the entire weekend waiting to get the email from Giants to say, it's failed, can you fix these things? Which I was expecting on Monday. And then Monday lunchtime, I got the email from Giants that said, your mod is available to release. So that's kind of cool. It's doing quite well, actually. I'm not sure if Giants have changed the payout for mods, or if it's kind of, it fades away as the mod's been downloaded more, but it's doing quite well. Yeah. Appreciate you guys jumping in and helping out with the troll that had rated it 1 star. I think there seems to be someone on ModHub that just goes around at mod release and rates a bunch of mods at 1 star. I'm guessing they live in a basement somewhere. I have all sorts of other opinions about the kind of person that they are, and I'm not going to say those, but you can imagine. Yeah, so it's kind of cool that's out. I do have a couple of other mods that are in the works. One is in testing, the other I need to do some... need to write the mod descriptions for, and then that can be uploaded as well. I'm not going to tell you what those are at the moment. So yeah, You'll see when they arrive. Yeah, this ploughing is going pretty well. Yes, I am backing the plough through the hedges fine. It's least, it'll just scratch the paint a bit. We have very thin hedges here around the farm. It's almost like they're just there to give a kind of nice visual boundary and break the farm up a little bit. They're actually really thin and flexible. So yeah. As I was saying in the last one, what I'm thinking about is you could just see it. So the field that backs on to the animal pens. So we're just on the headlands now. What I'm thinking of doing is when we do want to expand the yard, we'll take that hedge out because you can do that on Maypole. And we will then look at flattening some of that land back and building into that area. That's kind of my plan. Someone did ask on one of the earlier videos, and I'm guessing they haven't got to the one yet where I do contract the update to the map, which I think is in testing. It does fix the bathing contracts on here, which is kind of cool. Yeah, if you've watched the rest of the videos, you'll seen I did a couple of hay baling contracts on here a few episodes ago, and we got a really good. In fact, all of the hay bales that are on the farm are excess from baling contracts, from 2 baling contracts. So yeah. I didn't end up getting these fields planted yet. We have another day in October. I might plant them. I'm pretty much going to do wheat and barley, I think, or barley and oats, something like that. Might do barley and oats. Oats pay pretty well, don't they? And they all yield pretty well for straw. So yeah, I think probably when as a time is kind of short at the moment. Not short that way. Kind of. I don't have a lot of spare time. I think when I do, I will probably be playing a bit more of this in the background, particularly with the contracts. Like I'm expecting that we'll have a video for October. For day 3 of October, and then I'll probably jump through to about April. So you can see here the plough is skipping. I was a bit panicked at this point, but actually it starts to behave. I think it's a function of the terrain and the 3-point not dropping quite enough. It's definitely better than it was, but it's obviously not quite there. So yeah, yeah, as I was saying, probably, so I think I'll do one more video in October, and then we'll probably skip through to spring. In that time, I will be trying to do contracts if they are available. Like I said, I think I'm going to end up ploughing the map. And probably what I'll do is, rather than using the Fiat, I'll use contract vehicles for all of that, and just have me and the 2 workers out doing, as you know, ploughing and cultivating. But I'm assuming there'll be stuff like that. If not, I'll just be skipping time and feeding the cows, so that we can get to spring where there are more interesting things to do. I am hoping that we end up with enough manure and slurry to fertilise the grass fields, and part of the reason that I'm thinking about not seeding these until spring is it would be really nice if we could do it with manure off the farm. We might not have that option at the moment. What I'm not sure of, because I've not explored, I've played on the map a lot, but it's not something I generally look for, is whether there's a manure buy point on the map, or whether we add one in, so that we can buy ourselves some cheap manure to get these fields fertilised. I'll have to have a look, because that would be a good idea. That would be a good idea. Or I might just buy some solid fertiliser and do that. I've not decided really. Probably need to. But I've got these were recorded at the weekend, and it's not as long ago as some videos that I do, but you know, it's a few days later. I skipped most of the ploughing because ploughing is not as therapeutic for everyone as it is for me. So yeah, we have another contract to redeem, so another £7,000 for £6,500 from the ploughing contract. And that's basically why I put the salary at 5, because I only need to get them to do a contract or two a month each, and we're making money. I don't want it to get silly as to making money on here. We don't have the loan, obviously. We're on hard mode, but I don't want to get ridiculous. I want to be able to make progress, but not stupidly quick progress. So I might put one in. I think the open garden, so I have one of those on furling, and I think if you're going to use them, those are something to use sparingly if you want to control cash flow. And those things have the potential to generate insane amounts of cash. They completely turn around my furling let's play when I put one in. So I might add one on here. I'm not sure where I'd fit it at the moment, so we might have to buy some more land first. But I did get asked about productions, and I basically said no. But when people say productions, I think grain mills and oil mills and all the big production things. I might do some small productions on here. I think it's a pretty obvious candidate for bringing my dairy on. Although I'm tempted by Vertex Designs mod that sells the milk automatically for you. I'm 50-50 on that, as to whether we'll go that option, or you can see the plow is skipping again. Whether we go for the auto selling of milk, or whether we bring dairy in and find somewhere to put that. So yeah, some of those smaller productions, quite possibly they will make their way onto the farm. I say maybe one open garden. That gives us the flexibility later on to produce some of the crops we might need to feed the cows. It means we can turn some of the manure that we're making into cash. Yeah, those kind of productions, possibly within a limit of I don't want to get it so it's stupidly easy to make money. I don't think for a while we'll be looking at things like a BGA on here. Because I think that has the potential to very quickly throw the balance off for where we are. Maybe in the future, when we're expanding the farm and we've progressed. Did they have BGAs in the 80s and 90s? I don't know. Pete, you'll Google it for me, I'm sure you will. When did the UK start getting biogas plants? Eventually I think we'll want one, if we once we've moved forwards to the kind of the 2000s and stuff, and we're looking at bigger kit that's more expensive, then maybe we will. But for now, I want to try and keep it sensible. So you might have seen in the comments of the last video, Cartech suggested that with the idea that I was talking about moving through the decades would allow this series to run for quite a long time, and I really like that idea. I think it was the last video. It might have been the one before. I might have already spoken about this. Yeah, I really like the idea of keeping this series going for quite a long time. And as we go through that, the amount of money that we earn will increase. The amount of money that we need will increase, because the farm will get bigger. We'll need more kit, or we'll need bigger kit. One of the nice things I like is that most of the older mods seem to be sensibly priced. I don't know. I don't know whether in like the 80s and 90s a tractor cost 300 grand like it does now. I doubt it. So being able, the Traction King's £70,000. That feels about right for a big tractor for that kind of era to me. Can you tell I'm kind of keen on getting a Traction King? I think it'll be a beast for doing contracts. If we can get a decent sized plow on the back of it, I mentioned this last time, a decent sized plow, a decent sized cultivator on the back of it, we can make a lot of money off of that. Getting a fertilizer spreader, probably on the Fiat, will be another good earner. We'll probably look in the spring at buying our own seeder and maybe planter and getting into that. So yeah, I think while our fields are quite small, we're going to need that contracting to once. So the plan is I will add Maze Plus on here when it releases, and once that happens, we will probably need the money at this stage to buy enough feed in to keep the cows fed, and we'll need the contracting with the excess bales to help keep the cows fed. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking, probably. Yeah, that we'll probably need to be contracting to have the cash to keep to get things going anyway, because once the cows are going, they will be producing a lot of milk and a lot of manure, and then maybe we can put that manure through some productions or sell some excess. I think we're going to end up with a lot of manure. It's a shame actually that you don't get grass fertilizing contracts on here, because that would be kind of cool. Because A, it would give you a better yield off of the grass work contracts that you do, and B, it would mean I could use the manure up that I'm going to have. I'm pretty sure that the base game manure pits hold a lot of manure, so we'll probably be okay. I'm not sure how much slurry these sheds hold. We might need to put in a slurry extension. I have a couple of nice British looking slurry tanks that I can, or slurry tanks that I can add in. I think that's okay. We might end up having to knock those trees out. We might end up having to do that to make a bit of more space in the yard for things at the moment. I'm not sure how much of that land we own. I'll have to have a look at that. Yeah. So pretty much done with the ploughing here. We've got a couple of bits that are a bit messy, and what I'm trying is where so these are just the ends of the headlands actually, that I missed on the previous pass. But what you'll see is I'm now going to back up the field, which is going to be fairly uncomfortable because it's all ploughed. I'm going to try tackling the skipped bits in the other direction and see if the plough will dig in and turn that soil over. I know it's probably going to turn it the wrong way now, but you know, it'll get it ploughed, and that's what we need. And the nice thing is we won't need to do any ploughing on our farm next year, because I'm doing all grain crops next year, so all grain and grass. I might end up doing corn, I don't know. I'm not sure whether if we cut that grass field in half, we'll get enough silage from grass and silage from maize to make it worthwhile. The alternative is we plant one of these fields with maize, and we rely on contracts for straw. We could do that. I've got the straw from contracts mod enabled. I had planned to use it on the harvest contract. I did test the harvesting setup. Yeah, let me know what you think, because I'm struggling with that. I know I have said I'm going to release the contracting setup on here. There are a few bits I still want to test and tweak, and yeah, it's probably going to be a week or so away before I get a chance to do that. Things are a bit, like I said, things are busy at the moment, and I want, and the same with the universal auto load tutorial. I have not forgotten that. I just need to be able to do it justice, and that might be next week that I can do that justice, because I'm working at home all of next week. It's the plan. That plan is crumbling already, but the plan is to work at home all of next week. Yeah, I can see it crumbling already, but you know, we can but try. I've done a lot of days in the office lately, including a Friday, which is never a good thing. But yeah, we are going to close this shed again, and we'll see if it stays closed. And we can tuck the Fiat away now, because we're done with that. The store are going to come and collect the plough for us. So they're up and running again properly now, and are happy to come and pick things up from the farm that we lease and drop them off. Yeah, they've got a low loader and stuff. It's much easier for them to do it than for us to be driving around with the tractor. So just checking, the cows have about 3,500 litres of hay left each hen. I think they should be okay through till morning. So I think we put in, I'm just checking the bale capacity, so we put in 8,000 litres. So they've used 5,500 litres in a day and a half, so they should be okay. So just finishing up the last contract, and I used 2 of the Traction Kings to get the last plowing contract finished. I have a couple of contracts open, so yeah. And I think they look really nice together. So yeah, we've got 6,500 and 6,000, and that's it. So thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff, and I'll see you next time on Maypole Farm.